Welcome to a terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah, kind of looking a little bit for words there and just couldn't remember what I wanted to say next, which T in the alliteration I wanted to put in that second spot there, Terry. But it's
yeah,
terrific Terry Tuesday. How about that?
that's great.
Yes, indeed. So yesterday, kind of a funky day at Parx. I know you owe somebody a little bit of coffee, so
I do. He
we'll
had
make
a
sure Christopher D'Souza gets his what do you call it, gift certificate or whatever for
yeah.
Starbucks, wherever. Christopher, when we see you online, we'll get your contact information. I'm sure you'll comment, but you can reach out to me on Twitter, DM me at HRT Rich Christopher or gtsrichb@gmail.com. That's my email address. You can email me there. Anybody else has any questions or anything about horse racing related or just general life questions, if you have any, go ahead and fire me an email. I'll be more than happy to participate. All right, Terry. So last night, Scary Creations, Breeders' Cup News. If you all haven't heard, Practical
Yeah.
Move died of a heart attack. Ooh,
Yeah.
Arch Classic and retired to Lane's End. Wow, kind of a rough start to the Breeders' Cup week, huh?
Yeah, I just saw this morning. So, but I want to say congratulations to Christopher D'Souza too, because that was a nice pick of the day. It paid over $20, and that was pretty nice. Although I do have an excuse for my horse, as he was blocked coming into the stretch. But I think that
There are no excuses.
I think Christopher's horse would have still won. So that's cool. Anyway,
so last night, Luana Machado joined Lucy and Swiss Army Sean on Horse Center. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do for Halloween, but maybe you and I can dress up, Terry, as a horse and a jockey. We could be on the show. I don't know. But keep an eye on our social sites. They're streaming down there below. It's not Twitter anymore. It's X. I'll change that so that it's correct going forward. Anytime we have a show, the best way to make sure you don't miss it is to hit the subscribe button while you're here on YouTube. Hit that bell. And another thing you can do right here, you see that share button right there. Kindly click on that, copy that link right there, post it into your social sites and share it with your friends for the content that you like, whether it's us or other folks, and help the people who are putting that content out there. And I can tell you, Terry can tell you, Charles can tell you, Thomas can tell you, it's work to put on a production like this. Might not look like it because Terry makes it look easy. It's absolutely work.
No, it's a lot of work.
That. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, speaking of work, Terry, let's get started with our work here today at Parx, starting in race number 1. What are the conditions?
Well, it's a 5.5 furlong, a maiden claiming race, $30,000 claiming price, $28,000 purse for maidens, 2-year-olds.
Ah, yes. Pretty 2-year-old fillies. Just about anything can happen at 6.5 furlongs of 2-year-olds, Terry. But we do know that the profile of a winner for the 6.5 furlong affair in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, 5.5 furlongs, is tactical speed. 46% of the time they go wire to wire, but you don't have to be on the front. You can come from off the back. Sophia's Rose could get a little bit of a bonus on the rail. Post positions 2 and 3 are fair. 4 through 7, they've gotten a little bit discounted so far. 8 and out, you do get a bonus, Terry. We also do some simulations around here. Race number 1. Simulation odds, we're looking for morning line odds that are higher than our sim odds, but post-time odds are greater than our simulation odds as well. 1,000 races. Par plus, none of them scored there yet, Terry, but down the road we'll see horses who, in our 1,000 simulations, what percent of the time they run a speed figure par or better for the level they're running at today. We'll also look at speed to see which horse has the best chance to be on the lead at Parx. Being on the lead can be the ticket to the winner's circle. And finally, C-Zone, based upon our projected pace, which horses are likely to get races that look a lot like their best performances. Terry, who's going to take the lead here?
Well, it looks like that 4's got the most speed, although the 1 might have something to say about it. And then as far as the overlays go, that 2 has a nice overlay, 5-2 to 6-1 morning line. 7 is 3-1 versus 5-1 on the morning line. And that 8 has got a small overlay from 10-1 to 12-1. The par, there's no par numbers here because they haven't raced too many races, I don't imagine. And then as far as the C-zones, the 6 has the best C-zone, with followed up by the 1.
Mm-hmm. We also do pace handicapping for the pace handicappers in the audience. Want to make sure we touch all the bases. We see here that most of these horses, well, the 1, the 2, the 6, and the 7, they haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line as of yet. The 8's going to give it a go for the first time. I know you see Callie right here not scoring any points there because they didn't grade out, for whatever reason, the pace numbers in the past performances. Your 4 horse, the P horse, is your lone P type. So it should be one that does press for the lead early on. You do see it. Miyazamo and Swan's Island, they're the ones that have the best early speed in there. But late pace does belong to the 5 horse. She should have been a cowgirl and gone, although she should have been a cowgirl, is a little bit faster out of the gates than the 7. Our total pace picture, Terry, looks like the 5 horse should have been a cowgirl. Well, just pretty much everybody except for maybe the 1 in here of all the horses with experience got a shot. We don't know what the first timer is going to bring, but we're going to find out what you bring.
Yeah, I like the number 4 horse, Mia Amo. She ran second versus similar in her last race. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a nice high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 1, Sophia's Rose, ran second versus similar in her last race. The Rail Post is winning at a 21% clip, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Blinkers are added today to keep her mind on business, and she has a good four-long workout on October 24th. Number 5 should have been a Cowgirls, my third pick, ran second versus Tougher in her last race and drops in class today. Swan's Island, the 6 is by long shot. She has an early foot, drops in class today, and switches to high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a $1 daily double because I think this first race is very wide open. I'm going to go all with 1-8.
There's a all button. So he's guaranteed a winner in the first race. No question about it. Hopefully, all button produces the 3 horse as your top performer and the opener, Callie Ray. This horse was a betting favorite in the maiden special weight $60,000 arena. So it's going to drop after stopping in its debut. And there must have been a reason they bet that horse, but the drop does concern me, to be honest. The 2 horse, Whiskey Tree Blues, maiden special weight dropper as well. That's that biggest class drop in all of horse racing there. If this one improves, I'd say a typical amount for a horse in its second career start, probably going to win. Number 4, Miyamo, did run the top last race speed figure, and our good friend Christopher Parmalu says horses that finish second in the maiden race in the prior start tend to win the next one. It is his favorite handicapping angle. And then finally, the 7 horse, that one is made a Z pattern in its debut, so its early pace number was say 80, dropped to 70, and then you saw the late pace numbers pick back up again, so they say 80 again. Was well bet. Had them run very wide in that race. And it's another one that if it has any second race improvement, gone, should improve here. I'm going to do a double with the 2-3, with the 1, 5, 8, and 9. Maybe I should have put an all button in there somewhere too, Terry. Might have been beneficial. Yeah. Jared Bush, when these horses go off, Butte and no other performance drugs, it's like the athletes, they get to go to hell. I guess it was we get to go to hell. Why do they get to go to hell? That seems
they go to hell.
Odd. Oh, they go to hell. All right. I meant like they literally go to hell. Like that's not right in there, right?
It just was a horse's time, he said.
We'll talk a little bit more about this coming up, Barry Knight. Some technical difficulties we're having right now. I'm not quite sure that that's actually where we're going to end up going in the end. So we'll have an update on that because whatever reason, people trying to sign up, they can't do it. PayPal issue, I don't know. But what I do know, Mr. Terry, is that race 1's about to come up. And I do know that you can get today's guaranteed tip sheet picks at, if I remember correctly, today they were going to give the freebies away at FanDuel. When doing the handicapping there today, it certainly looked like a track that should perform well. See race number 1, the 3 horse, Linda Magog, whatever. That one is the top pick. There is a link down in the description below. So make sure you click on that to take advantage of the free picks at FanDuel today. And there's free picks there every single day. And then Carlos Morante says 1, 4, 7, I hope, Papa es Guana. I guess he's trying to say in the first race right there, Gary. That's my Spanish. All right, let's look at race number 1, about to come up. Terry, looks like looks like they're going to scratch somebody, huh?
I imagine, yeah.
Because they just opened up all the gates again, but the camera angle hasn't gone away. So a lot of times when they're going to scratch somebody, they take the camera, but all the horses are walking away from the. All right, so with that being the case, Terry, let's go ahead and try to do race number 2. I'll keep my eye out on what's going there.
Okay, let's do that. At least we'll get it started.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's 1 mile and 70 yards. Claiming race, 12,500 claiming price, $23,000 purse for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
At 1 mile and 70 yards, the kind of horse that does win the race, Terry, has early speed. 29% of the time they do go wire to wire. A rail bonus for Boss Man Jones, 2 and 3 discounted, 4 and out. They play fair. Once again, Terry, we do our work here to get prepped. A couple of scratches in here that might change the early pace outlook, but not by much.
Okay, all of them have some speed, but the ones with the most speed are the 8 and the 3, and then the 1 has a nice little overlay from 6 to 5 or 7 to 5 to 6 to 1. The 9 has an overlay from 4.5 to 1 to 6 to 1. The par numbers, none, and all of them but the 3 have good C-zone numbers.
Mm-hmm. So looking at the early speed, the one that looks like it might be the most comfortable is Bullet Butch in there, Terry. Our pace set up for race number 2. You do see a couple scratches. Everybody wants to be middle forward. So maybe speed of the speed. If the 5 horse can get the lead, a lone E type. You know, you saw a 6 horse yesterday that was an E type that got to the lead and paid at a good price. So maybe the 8 horse in here, Bullet Butch, can get to the front. We did see that in the simulations. Maybe gets to the front, stays to the front, although everybody except Sal and Louis should keep that one company. Late speed, we do see a trio in there that are pretty tightly bunched with the 1, the 9, and the 10. So the inside and the outside. Total pace numbers, Terry, belong to the, 3 of them that are 10 points better than everybody else. So it looks like this race should be between the 1, the 9, and the 10. But it does look like they're getting into the gates now for race number 1. So let's rewind back to that, and then we'll come back to race number 2 for our picks.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
It does, yeah. Boy, everything in there is pretty good odds except for that 4's 7 to 5. So
all right, Christopher D'Souza, race number 2, likes the 3. Christopher, congratulations on your W yesterday. We addressed that earlier. So hit me up on GTS Rich B, gtsrichb@gmail.com, so we can make arrangements to get you your coffee certificate, my friend.
Yeah, congratulations, Christopher. That was a nice pick. Paid over $20.
Well done. Just like you like your cheeseburgers, right, Terry?
That's right.
I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people say, like, if you order like steak or anything like that, well, looks like one of these horses is still being a little bit belligerent there, Terry. I'm not sure. I think the 3 horse, the one I have. Yeah. He don't want to go in there, my man. He's not interested in participating today. So maybe I should take that one off my picks there, huh?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, no problem, Christopher. We thank you for joining us every day. We know how valuable time is. It's the one commodity that all of us have that eventually we will run out of. Nemchi likes the 1, race 1 with the 4 and the 5, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. So I genuinely appreciate the time that people spend with us. I know there's a lot of other choices in your life to do, and to spend your time with Terry and I is definitely humbling, I would say. Right, Terry?
Yeah, it is. We appreciate it. So
we're still waiting for race number 1 to get cooking here. I don't know what these guys are up to.
They're having a lot of trouble with that 3.
So. Yeah, and my pick. Of course, he's burning out all of his energy before the race starts, right?
Yeah.
They're going to scratch that one too, or they finally got him in. All right. So hopefully he's going to have a lot of energy in this race. I don't think he's got any left.
No.
Yeah. And if I were at the track, obviously I would run to the window and cancel my ticket, right?
I would.
Yes, I would indeed. Looks like they're chasing another horse around over there. You don't want to go in either. That's the 8 horse. Well, that's what you get with 2-year-olds, right?
Yeah. They're pretty nervous usually.
Mm-hmm. Well, I imagine that going into that tight space freaks them out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It would probably freak me out a little bit. I'm not even a horse. I'm the claustrophobic type. And they're off.
Okay.
And the 6 horse just jetted out to the lead there, Terry. Out of nowhere goes Swan's Island. Though we did say he had a good shot to get to the lead. You got the 1 horse on the rail trying to get involved as well in there at 12 to 1. So that would be good for Terry's The 4-horse, the favorite at 2-1, has moved into third place. The 5-horse, going to have a very wide trip, it looks like. They go through the turn. The 6-horse maintains the lead after running 23-1. So he's really not going all that fast. You have and that would be a good one for you, Terry, at 10-1 on your double, provided you get the next one. The 1-horse is making its move now. Here it comes up the rail. 5-horse, the one that had to go around trip. My 2 horses, Terry, they're going to finish dead last, the 2 and the 3.
Oh, sorry.
That happens. Down around the stretch they come. The 1-horse that's going to run by all of them in the end, it looks like is going to end up being that 4-horse, Terry, is going to be your winner. Maybe the 5-horse goes by at 5-1. That looks like it could be the case. They're coming up the stretch here, closing in on the wire. 4-horse maintaining its lead. The 1's trying to make ground late, but he's not going to do it. It's going to go 4, 5, 6, 8, and then that 2-horse made a good rally. The 3-horse that didn't want to run for real, and then the 7-horse finishing dead last. So 4-horse, your favorite, is your winner at 2-1, and that's what happens when you press the all button, right?
That's right, but that's all right. It was my top pick. I should have just taken that with all in the second race.
Should have singled and then all the next one.
All in the second, yeah.
The next one's where the bomb's going to come in. All right,
That's
Terry.
right.
Now, speaking of the second one, that's where we are now. Who do you have?
I like number 1, Bossman Jones. He likes Parx racing, finishing in the money 67% of the races and winning 33% of those starts. Likes the distance too, finishing in the money 100% of the time and wins 33% of those starts. Number 8, Bullet Butch is my second choice, finishing the money in 5 out of 10 races at Parx Racing, winning 2 of those, switches to a high percentage winning jockey. Sal and Louie, the 5, is my third pick. He ran second in his last race, and the distance will not be a problem. And then I like number 5, Dad as Hay, I guess. He finished
Number
third
which
in
one?
his last race.
10?
Number 10, yeah.
Dadashev?
Dadashev. Yeah,
Mm.
Dadashev. Anyway, I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1-8 with the 2-3-7, with the 3-5, with the 2-5-7.
I like the 1-horse too. Bossman Jones on the top of my ticket. Lone horse with a par plus figure in there. You see that right there. Plenty of back class and also an overlay. Scratches probably helped that one today. Sal and Louie, the 5-horse, could be the lone E-horse if it can get to the lead. Did run faster fractions last time out, and it was blocked. So maybe a little bit better trip with less horses to compete with today. Number 9, Quickening, gets the third call for me. Very consistent performer, better late pace, and should not be too far from the front with these folks. And then number 8, Bullet Butch. That's my horse there. I think Paco Lopez is riding again today. Is he unsuspended now, Terry? It looks like it. Could be your pace setter and drops to the lowest level in its last 10 races. For me, the pick 4 with the 1-5, with the 2-3-6-7. I'm going to single the 9 in the third leg with the 1, 2, 5, and 7. I'm not the biggest singler, Terry, but I'm going to go all of my marbles on that 9-horse today.
All right. Well, this third race coming up is a mile. It's a maiden claiming race, $40,000 claiming price, purse $32,000 for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds.
Again, another 2-year-old race where just about anything can happen. We saw you get to the front. That's usually how you're going to win these races, Terry. At a mile at Parx, getting to the front has been the way to win 36% of the time. The rail and 2 and 3, so the inside 3, they do get a bonus. 4 through 7, play fair. If you happen to wear an 8 or out, you get dinged big time. So speed usually wins, Terry. These maiden races, it looks like 2 of them. On the inside and the outside is where all of the early action will be found.
That's right. The 7 has the most speed, with the 1 having something to say about it. They're pretty close, so it probably is going to go head-to-head. The 2 has a nice overlay from 7 to 5 or 8 to 5 to 4 to 1, and the 3 is like 4 to 5 to 7 to 2, which is really nice. Par numbers, the 3 and the 6 have some par numbers, some good par numbers, and the 5 and the 7 show the best C-zone numbers.
Mm-hmm. So you got a decent one over here with the chance to get to the lead. We'll see if it can do that. The first race, the 4-horse one, I think the 5 finished second, and then I think it was the 8 finished third. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, no, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
4, 5, and 6. That was the opener there to answer your question, Robbie. Our pace setup for race number 3, Terry. We see one again, Most of these horses have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. Only 2 of them showed an interest in getting somewhere near the leader in their races to date. Get to the front, you probably have a good shot to win here. You see that these 4, particularly the 5 and the 7, with the best opportunity. The 5 is shown on the track. He can get there and stay up there. Late speed does belong to the 3-horse, La Sivera C. Won't be too far off the pace with this group, maybe 2 lengths off the 7-horse, but everybody else should be able to smell that horse. As far as our total pace is concerned, the 2 and the 3 have the best total numbers, except maybe the 1 and the 4 might be where you want to find the winning tickets, Terry.
Yeah, I like the number 3, La Sibera. She finished second in her debut race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 33% of the races in the first route race he has an entry in. Number 7, Bay Birdie is my second choice. Drops in class today. Should improve while returning to dirt, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And this trainer wins 32% of the races when taking a horse from turf to dirt. She's all a Twitter. The 2 is my third pick. She ran second in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 50% of the route races he has an entry in. And then Harley is my long shot, the 1. Her best race in her career was at Parx Racing, where she finished 3rd. No bet for me here.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with She's All a Twitter. Should be. You think they want to change that name now to She's All an X? I'm not sure. This one did tie for the top last race speed figure, and is going to drop down from a maiden special weight there today. Number 3, La Sierra C. Any improvement in its second start should be good enough for this horse to get the W here. My Starship, the 6-horse, tied for the top last race speed figure with the 2-horse, also dropping from the maiden special weight ranks. And then number 7, Bay Birdie. They must have thought that they had a pretty solid horse here, Terry. After debuting in the maiden special ranks, it went up to a non-graded stakes race in that race number 3. Came back down to maiden special weight in race number 3. Went to non-graded stakes in race number 2. Third race back to MSW level. Probably tired a little bit. Put the horse in the barn. Come back with some fresh legs today. 2, 3, 6 with the 2, 3 with the 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 is my trifecta in there, Mr. Terry. Let's see here. Parx Racing number 5. Yeah, but see, we know you like the race 5, horse number 7. Chelsea. We'll get to that in just a moment. So make sure you keep that in mind, folks. Like Basid, like Christopher D'Souza, like Nemchi in race number 2. He likes to. There's no 10 in number 2, but 10-1. Who's 10-1, Terry? He likes the 5 horse. Is that who you like in there?
Yeah, probably the 5, sir. Toga Sweets.
Yeah, that's the way I'm reading that.
Yeah.
Like, if you have picks in there, kindly put the horse number in there so you can tell us which horse we know it is. That way we can share it with everybody. Race number 4 is what we're going to share next, Terry. What's going on here?
All right. In this race number 4, it's 1 mile and 70 yards, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 30th.
All right, Terry. Mile and 70 yards, the kind of horses that do win races between here and April the 30th. Early speed at 29 out of 100. Go gate to wire. Rail bonus for Angelus Warrior. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a discount. 4 and out, they play fair, Terry. In race number 4, some early speed will do you some good on this Halloween. I don't know about where you are, Terry, but it's snowing in Chicago today.
It's pretty nice here. Anyway, all of these horses show some kind of speed, although the 8 and 7 show the most speed. As far as the overlay, the 2 has an overlay from 7-2 to 15-1. That's nice. The 9 goes from 4-5 to 4-1 on the morning line. And then as far as par numbers, 9, 5, 8, and 2 show pretty decent par numbers. The C zones are the 1, 5, 8, and 2.
Yeah, look at that. 90%, 91% chance casualistic runs a speed number that's on par for this level or better. That's a pretty big number there, Terry. So you're going to have to beat that one. Looking at the race shape here, it's pretty well balanced in here, although, yeah, about 3 that want to be forward. 5, I mean, it can get, depending upon the early speed. The way I read this race is if they go kind of slow, everybody will pack up in there. If they go kind of quickly, you'll see a little bit of separation with some patience from the 3 and the 7 and the 6. Early speed, in this case, does belong to 7. what is there? There's a storm brewing. There's a storm brewing. A little bit quicker than some of the other horses in here, but not any a distinct advantage. I would expect the 1 Angelus Warrior probably being one that's lead dependent to jump out. Probably the 8 as well because it has to clear. Then your late speed casualistic, that 9 horse, a little bit of advantage with True to Coden, the other closer in there. They're well above anything else that anybody else brings to the table. Minus the 2 horse, the 9 shouldn't be all that far, maybe a couple of lengths off the lead as they go through the back turn coming home. Then as you look at the total pace, 4-point advantage for casualistic, Storm Bruin, then a pretty good drop off to everybody else in there. Maybe the 3 horse is the only one that you can put an X through, Terry. Did you put an X through the 3? Oh,
no, it's my
your top pick. I honestly didn't know that. Well,
number 3 is my
now
top
you can
pick.
guarantee. I just guaranteed it's going to win for you, Terry. So you can thank me.
Well, he drops in class today, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 5, Excursion. He ran second versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Wins 21% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again to race. And he has a high percentage jockey. Number 9 is my 3rd pick. Finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has the highest last race speed rating. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with the 3 horse, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 8, Hidden Promise. My long shot drops in class today. As a trainer, wins 19% of the claiming races. He has a horse in, and the jockey in the last 7 days have been in the money 5 out of 8 starts with 2 wins. I play a 50-cent pick 4, 3-5 with the 2-5-7 with the 2-3-7-9 with the 1-7.
In this race, number 2, going back, LK Noxine likes the 8, the 5, and the 9. Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate that. Jared Bush asking, putrid Raiders or proficient bounce back by the Lions last night? Well, I would say the Lions probably are a pretty solid team. You look at their defense, it's pretty good. The Raiders are pretty bad. You got guys missing throws that high school quarterbacks make pretty regularly. More often than not, though, Jared, from doing Parx, I think, Terry, you'd agree with me with this. You see horses get to the front, they stay at the front, right?
Yeah.
Pandande Puedo ver las Caraces in Vivo Park. Where can you watch Parx live? The only place I can think of is if you open an account with like BetUs or William Hill, any of those offshore places that will allow for you to open up an account. I don't think you can open one in the United States with like a TVG or a Twin Spires or Keeneland or Naira. But if you open up an account somewhere, fund it, you may or may not have to fund it. You can watch the races live there. So make sure you do that. Jared Bush, race 2. He likes every horse in an exacta box. Thank you. We appreciate that, Jared. He's got the 1, 3, 5, and 10. So 4 horses in the exacta box for $12. All right, Terry. I like the 9 horse in here as my top pick. Casualistic does have the really strong chance to get the above par figure or better. It is our top total pace horse and did run the top last race speed figure. Excursion, the 5 horse, is walking up the performance speed ladder and likely to be even better today in the 3rd start after the layoff. Like you, Terry, the one I said put an X through, made it into my pick. So, you know what? Both of us are going to see that horse win today. Sace drops in class in the 3rd start after the layoff, and maybe the trainer sees some hope by taking a little bit of weight off that horse today. And finally, the 6 horse, Relatively Up. That one gets my 4th call. Did hold its speed longer in its last race. 3rd up after a layoff. And this horse is all or nothing at Parx. Are you going to win or run off the board, folks? 13 times at Parx, 3 wins, and every other time else just back to the barn for some hay. All right. Christopher D'Souza, you said number 6 will come in 9 race. If you're making a lot of money, thanks to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He appreciates that. If there's such a horse among you today that you trust very much, can you please tell me? I'm asking you. You know this job. All right. Thank you, Tafum. All right. So race number 5, Terry, is next on our list of trying to do our job. We can only wish to be as honored. All right. 6.5 furlongs, maiden claiming 30 grand. What you got?
It's purse of 28,000 for maidens 2-year-olds.
One of those again. We just
another 2-year-old maiden race.
Race 3, Parx 1, 2, 4, 5 exacta box for Jared. 6.5 furlongs, the kind of horse that wins. Does have early speed again at Parx, 1 out of 3. takes the lead and never gives it up. You get a small bonus for the inside 3 horses, a small discount for post 4 through 7, and 8 and out. It does play fair, Terry. So we're looking maybe for a little bit of inside speed in race number 5, and it's in the middle of the track.
Yeah, the 4 and the 5 show the most speed, although the 5 has more speed than the 4. So it just depends on who gets the best break. The 1 has a small overlay from 6.5 to 1 to 8 to 1 in the morning line. And the 5 has an overlay, a pretty nice one, from about 7 to 5 to 5 to 1. There are no par numbers in here at all. And the 9, 5, 2, and 4 have the best C-zone numbers.
So just looking at this screen, Terry, and we point this out when we see it all the time, you have an overlay with the 5, really good chance to get on the lead, and with the C-zone saying it's going to be really comfortable. We've seen a lot of these horses win. I'm not saying it's as good as Christopher 6 yesterday, but I think he's got a good shot, Terry. Looking at our race shape here, look at this, Terry. Everybody's not been close that's made it. 6 and the 8 are making their first start. So this race with 2-year-olds is really up for grabs. So who's going to grab it?
Well, I'll tell you what. I like in this race the number 5, Sir Palace Prince. He ran 3rd versus Similar in his only start, has the highest last race speed rating. He has a high percentage winning trainer. The trainer wins 28% of the races with 2-year-old horses. Number 2, Dos de Oros is my second choice. Ran 2nd versus Tougher in his last race. Drops in class today. Number 7, Chinese Jam. He has a high.
I think it says Chinese. I am.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I should take time to separate these, and then I could read them better. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer, and My Heart Will Goon. The 4 is my long shot. His early speed running style will help his chances, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 17% of the races in dirt starts. No bet for me in this race.
Yeah, My Heart Will Goon must be English soccer fan, I would guess. I like the 5 horse too, Terry, as my top pick. When we agreed yesterday, we had some success, so let's hope that's the case today. Ran the top last race, speed figures, showed a little bit more early pace in that race, has a couple of maintenance workouts, so maybe a little bit more late race endurance today. The 7 horse, Chinese I Am, is your maiden special weight dropper and going to probably be better in its second career start. The Marine Patrol horse is another one that in his second career start, I'm expecting to see a better performance out of. At least 1 out of 2 of those horses should improve. Number 2, Dos de Oros. So 2 things of gold, I guess. That's what that means in Spanish. If he can run back to his debut, would get a pretty good shot at winning this race. Recently had a 3 furlong workout, so that tells me the trainer wants to see this horse pop out of the gate a little bit quicker today than it has in the past. 157 over the 5-7 over the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7 makes up my trifecta. Starbucks coffee. You looking for another one, please?
Well, because Tafan wants him to give him his horse, so he's saying, "Hey, if you want
at
me
least
to give
some coffee,
horse,
right?"
But
Tafan is always on that. Wait, I'm just going to back up a little bit here for a second. I don't mean to let screw running from my horse. There we go. Chisameni. That's the one that you mentioned earlier, right? The 7 horse in there. Yes. So let's go back up in here. Find that one. I know he put a comment in there for race number 5. There you go, straight on the 7 horse. There you go. I'm all for you. I'm rooting for that one too. Basid, it's in my picks in there, right there. So, Christopher, if you want, I earned a lot of money thanks to you. I can send you some if you want. That's where I was going to go on that one. Christopher, he says that he's always willing to help out. So, how did one connect the other? And then I don't know, we can do that. No cut for us. I mean, that's an off party time thing. I saw the movies Molly's list. Cute girl. Spider-Man's a great card player, apparently. I don't want any of that. Maybe the cute girl, and good poker player. I'll do that. Maybe movie star, but I don't want any problems with the other stuff.
Yep.
All right, let's go on. How far are we to the next race, Terry?
7
we
minutes.
got a while, yeah. So
yeah, this is 6 race, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming, $16,000 claiming price, $22,000 purse for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward. You
feel like there's a lot of maiden races today, Terry?
There are, though. So far, I think that's the 4th one so far out of 6 races.
Out of 6 races, yeah. Well, 6 furlongs does favor tactical speed in this case, Terry. About 35, 36% of the time, the horses go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 7, they play fair. 8 and out, there's a little bit of a bonus. plenty of speed in this race to pick from, Terry.
Yeah, several of them have speed, especially the 4, 8, and 3. The 4 has an overlay from even money to 6-1, and the 7's got an overlay from just a little bit, almost under 6-1 to 12-1, and the 10's got an overlay of about 7-2 to 8-1. Par numbers, the 4 and the 10 have the best par numbers, and the 5, 7, 4, 10 have the best C-zone.
You know, Scary, this kind of reminds me a little bit. I don't remember if you remember back in the day when the Eagles try to amass like a super team or something like that. Pretty funny. I don't know how that's going to work. I know, Kawhi Leonard doesn't really play on the ball. Neither does Paul George. Westbrook is constantly on the ball. And Harden doesn't really need to be on the ball, but he doesn't really give it up when he is on it. So there you go, Christopher. So he wants to contact you so he can send you some dinero. So you guys work that out. Our race shape here is pretty fair. The 1, 2, and 8 in these maidens haven't found it to be to their liking to run yet, not within 5 lengths of the leader. Otherwise, everything else is kind of balanced in here. Maybe a little bit of early speed. Usually that's how you break your maiden. You get to the front. Up for parole, the 4-horse. 7-point advantage over the other speed horses in here. Means a length and a half on the front. Could be tough to run that one down, Terry, especially since it does show a little bit of late speed in there. I mean, not as great as the 2-horse, Warrior's Vow, Road Call, or Crack the Code, but still those horses are going to be plenty behind Up for Parole and have a lot of ground to make up. Looking at the total pace in there, Up for Parole, 5 points better than the 10 Classic Bourbon or the 6 Keep Them Talking, and they're 6 points better, clear of everybody else. So these even number horses, the 4, 6, and 10, if you like total pace, likely to produce your winner, Terry. Who's going to win?
I like the Vessel Sky, the 9. Came in from Monmouth Park and won his first race at Parx Racing, changing from turf to dirt, which is, I think, a key. And he again runs on the dirt, so that's good. He has a trainer who wins 26% of the races at maiden claiming starts. The 3 is my second choice, ran second versus similar in his last race.
You're not going to try to pronounce that one?
No. KQ.
Hey, I give you 2 enthusiastic summer thumbs up on that one.
Has a high percentage winning trainer. Warrior's Vow, the 2, is my third pick. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 25% of the races in maiden claiming starts and switches to high percentage winning jockey. In the last 7 days, had been in the money 14 out of 19 starts, 6 wins, 5 seconds, and 3/3. Road Call is my third pick. My long shot. He won his last race, but was disqualified and placed last, but received the highest last race speed rating. And his best dirt speed is faster than the average speed. I'm going to bet $8 to win on number 9.
El número 9, getting $8. I like them. Well, it's funny, Terry. We agree on the 7, the 3, and the 2, but we don't agree on our first horses. So maybe you can get your coffee back on that one. In race number 6, you like the 7 to win place and show the Road Call, one that we do agree on, Terry, you and I. Christopher D'Souza in there with the 3 and the 6. I singled the 9, and I'm not. No, that was a different race. I got the 4 horse here as my top pick. You can see here, Terry, good shot to be on the leads, decent C-zone score, best chance to run a par plus number in there for Up for Parole. Does have that 8-point early pace edge that has the 5-point total pace edge, by far the best par plus and overlay. I don't know. On paper, looks like that's the one to beat. Number 7, Road Call, the one that you and I agree on, Mr. Christopher D'Souza, as well as Terry, one that we have in common, all of us. Christopher P. Parmalu says when the horse finishes second, it's his favorite angle the next time up. But what if it wins its prior race, Terry, in the maiden level, and then gets DQ'd? And in doing so, it had the top last race speed figure by 6 points. What angle is that?
I don't know. It's something else.
So the Kaiku, the 3 horse, ran all of his best speed numbers, Terry, when coming off a break or in its debut. Horse is coming off a break today, so it's going to run its best race today. Number 2, Warrior's Vow, does have some superior late pace for these. At least it did in its debut. This horse can get off to a better start, and typical improvement in race number 2 would absolutely be a threat to win here. 3, 4, 7 with the 4, 7 with the 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9. for my traditional trifecta in there on this terrific Terry Tuesday. How are we doing in time for race number 2?
It's 1 minute 2 according to my.
Yeah, and they're still kind of bouncing around. They're not at the gate. So let's go ahead and get cracking on race number 7.
All right, let's do that. It's a mile and 70 yards. Optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price if you're wanting to do that. Purse, $26,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have started for $25,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $25,000, and which have never won 2 races.
Yeah, in case you missed it the first time, that they never won 2 races. You can see this one in there. Jeeper is in for a claim. That's why the $25,000 is there. Supreme Being is not in for a claim. So Terry couldn't buy that one no matter what he wanted to do. Looking at the mile and 70-yard profile of a winner, I see that early speed, again, 29 out of 100, go wire to wire. A little bit of a rail bonus for Jeeper. 2 and 3 get a discount. 4 and out play fair. So if you're on the rail and you have some speed, Terry, in race number 7, maybe you got a chance, but boy, that speed is on the outside.
Yeah, wow, that 10 shows lots of speed and not very much speed other than that. The 1 has an overlay of from 4 to 5 to 7 to 2, and the 7 has a small overlay from about 7 to 2 to 9 to 2. The par number 1 has the best par number. All of them have C-zone numbers except for the 2 and 3.
So looking at that 10 horse, Terry, you got that C-zone on the lead. We've seen those horses way too many times get to the front and stay on the front. It works out in my pick 4. I hope for you and your pick 4, it doesn't work out, Terry. It's the kind of guy I am. In race number 7, looking at our race shape here, most of it's middle back, Terry. So the 6 and the 10, if they show some speed, they could definitely have a competitive edge early on. 10 horse does clear out, is 3 points better than the next closest one, which is the 6, the other speed horse. Those two have a little bit of a gap on everybody else. So I'd expect the 6 and the 10 to get to the front. Depending on which one clears the other, could dictate who has the best chance to go wire to wire. They're coming down the stretch to come home. You got a lot of them in here, Terry, with very similar numbers. So the middle back horses, all with some strong late pace in there. Our total pace designation goes to the 5 horse, Big Boy's Answer, but plenty competitive, Terry. Maybe except maybe the 2, 3, and 9. Maybe you could X them off, but they're probably going to be our top 3 picks.
Well, I like the number 1, Jeeper. He drops in class today.
Hold on, before we do that, let's go to race number 2 is about to.
Are they loaded?
I think they're all, the screen just zoomed out, so it looks like race number 2 is about to kick off.
All right.
I think they're just waiting for the 10 horse, and then you and I will finish up our work on race number 7 we were on, right? I think we were on race 7. Yeah, we were on race 7. All right, the 10 horse doesn't want to cooperate right now. It doesn't even look like the jockey's on that horse right now. Well, he is on that horse. They're trying to get it to come into the gate, and he don't want to cooperate today. It's like, no, not this day. I don't care if it's terrific Terry Tuesday. I don't want to go in. That's what he's saying. All right, so it looks like they got them all in, and the gates are open, and they're running. I didn't know there was like a white horse in this race, Terry. Otherwise, I might have changed my picks a little bit. So right now, it does look like, well, the 1 horse definitely didn't get a good break. I think that's the 5 horse in there, Sal and Louis. That's the one. No, that's the 3 horse. DeSantis has gone to the lead. Maybe here, but not in the polls. Behind DeSantis, we have the, I can't tell who's in there coming up in there. Looks like the 10 horse in there. Dadashev has found its way into second. You have a whole host of horses in there. The 9 horse being the one that's totally in the back. You got the 1, and then the 5 and the 8 running in that second group. The 9 way off the pack as they go through the opening quarter in 24 and 1. Probably a little bit on the quick side for this crew, I would suspect, Mr. Terry. They go down the backside, still a duel between the 3 and the 10, although the 3 looks like he's running a little bit less effort than the 10 horse. 49 seconds, so they got to slow it down in the second half. The 5 horse now on the outside with the white jockey's got a pretty good hold on that one. So he's trying to make up some ground here, but not really doing a good job yet. The 3 horse continues to hold the lead. 5 horse is making up ground. It does look like our 1 horse, Terry, both of us, he's not doing so well. Come down the spin. Here they go. Looks like the 5 horse at 2 to 1, Terry, is now engaging the gray. He's moved alongside the 3 horse. He has taken the lead right now. Although the 3 horse is battling on, that one's not giving up very easily. So it's going to come down to which one has the most energy at the end. It looks like the 3 horse is continuing to fight. The 5 horse has got a bad case of hanging right now, Terry. He doesn't want to get up on there. The 3 horse is going to win this race, Mr. Terry. It's going to go 3, 5, 9, and then something on the inside. 3, 5, and 9. DeSantis is your winner in race number 2, crushing our pick 4s, Terry, right off the get-go.
That's right. No double for me either. So
sad. You should have went all in the second
I should have went all in this race. Yeah, I should have taken my 4 single and went all here.
So back to race number 7 and our picks. Maybe you should go all here, Terry.
And maybe I should. You just never know, right? But I like number 1, Jeeper. He drops in class today. The rail post is winning an 18% clip. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, tied with another horse, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 7 is my second pick. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. He drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Wilkinson Warrior, the 6, is my third pick, finishing the money in 2 out of 3 races at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning trainer as well. Supreme Being, the 2, is my long shot. Finished third versus Tupper in his last race. Drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4, 1-7 with the 2-7-9 with the 6. With the 1, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10, and hope I don't get disqualified out of my pick 4 like I was yesterday in the first 4 races.
It's never fun like that. Race number 6, IK knocks in, wants 20 to win in place on the 9 horse in race number 6. Race number 6, Christopher D'Souza all over to 7 on the win and the place horse there. All right, we got that. Christopher D'Souza coming out with the boom boom. Did we go boom boom 5-1 odds? Was that the minimum for boom booms, Terry? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought 2 booms was more than 5-1 odds, Chris. I'm not sure, but we'll take a boom boom right there, right?
It was 8-1, wasn't it?
There's a boom for Jared Bush in there too. He gave it out. He also gave you every horse in the field. So way to go, Jared. Just kidding. Jared did give us 4 horses that he liked. All right, and race number 4 for me. I like the. What do I like? I like the 1 horse Jeeper. Gonna drop in class after coming in from the Kentucky circuit. So last time out was a track drop for the Parx. Does have by far the best par plus number in here. Big boys answer. The 5 horse gets the second call for me in here. Terry, top total pace horse by a little bit. A closer that should be pretty close to the pack with this group. Did run better pace numbers across the board last time out. Number 10, Ninja Prize. The sim says this horse has a really strong chance to be the pace setter, very strong C-zone scorer. I've seen way too many of those win. Finally, number 3, Rush Center in what looks like a pretty wide open race. Plenty of back class. If Paco indeed is there today, he's riding. And this is another horse whose race internals were better across the board. I'm going to do a pick 4, 1, 3, 5, 10 with the 2, 3, 7, 9 with the 1, 6. And the 4-6 in races 9 and 10 for that late double. I worry a little bit about some of those late races, Terry, because you got a couple of horses, especially that 6 and that 1 leg. That's going to just be a prohibitive favorite. And we've seen too many of those finish second at Parx. That's why I didn't single that one.
Yeah.
Race 8, the second leg of the late pick 4, 7 furlongs.
Yep, it's an optional claiming race of $16,000, purse $32,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $12,500 or less since October 31st, 2021, or claiming price of $16,000.
Yes, indeed. So Halloween horses for sure on Halloween. 7 furlongs. This one, if I remember correctly, does have a really strong, probably one of the most strongest biases at Parx. From the inside out on the post positions. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, very strong inside out post position. Speed does do pretty well there. 29% of the time it goes wire to wire. So Terry, if you have a horse in race number 8 that has a lot of inside speed, that's probably a good shot to be a factor here.
Yeah, that 3 has the most, but also the 1 shows some speed. And then that outside horse, the 9, has speed also. The 2 has an overlay of about 5-2 to 4-1. 4 has an overlay of around almost, 7.5 to 1 to 10 to 1. And the 9 is from about 8-5 to 7-2. The par numbers would be 3 and 8 show the best par numbers. And then 2, 4, 6, and 9 have the best C-zone numbers.
So the 2 horse in here, strong C-zone number, really good chance to go par plus overlay. Probably a pretty strong competitor in here. We see the same thing down here with Coach has 6 aces. Maybe those two can show their cards today and end up in the winning circle. Pretty balanced race in here, Terry. So everyone should kind of get the trip that they're looking for in here. If you want early speed, this round's mine, the one that we saw in the simulations, has a really good shot to be on the lead. It's not going to get away with an easy lead because there's plenty of horses that are a step or two right behind. As far as late speed is concerned, Dr. Abby, the PC type, does have about a 6-point advantage over everybody else. Pretty versatile horse. So if they go too slow, that horse will probably press up. If they go too fast, we'll rely on those late legs. Our late speed, total speed combination says Coach has 6 aces, 4 points better than Dr. Abby. But look right here, they're all bunched up together, Terry. So a pretty competitive race in race number 8. How did you break the ties?
All right, I like the 7, Your Inheritance. She ran second versus similar in her last race, and she has a trainer who wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Number 9, Coach has 6 aces. She won her 4 races in a row at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning jockey. And number 2 is my third pick, Dr. Abby. She ran second versus similar in her last race, has the highest last race speed rating, and she has a high percentage winning trainer, switches the high percentage winning jockey. Number 1 is my third long shot. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. Real Post to win in a 22% clip. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. I'm going to play a 50 cent. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the 8th race. I'm not going to play anything.
I'm just putting a little bit of contact information in there for Christopher D'Souza and anybody else who might want to say hi. Yeah. Feel free to reach out and say hi to me. Here's my you can DM me on X. Got it right, HRT Rich. That's 2 places you can find me, folks. Make sure you keep it clean. I like in race number 8, Terry, the 9 horse is my favorite pick in this one, for this race anyway, not for the day. Big par plus score in here, winner 3 races in a row. The deal with the 9 horse, Terry, is either going to win or he's going to run off the board. 12 times this horse has hit the track. He's won 5 of them. And then every other time he's decided to take the day off. Number 2, Dr. Abby, the other horse in this field with a 50% or better par plus score. It is an overlay that has the top last race speed figure. Number 3, this round's mine. Most likely the horse to be on the lead here, Terry. You're going to catch a weight break, so could even speed that horse up a little bit more. And finally, Your Inheritance, the 7 horse. At the distance, 5 times out, 2 wins, 3 seconds. Did get a terrible start in its last race, which was her first race at Parx. It gets a better race today, at least at the jump. The horse should be really competitive. I ran out of money too, Terry, so no bets for me in there. So what is this? You work to do? Do you need to handicap the Breeders' Cup? Yeah, we're going to be handicapping that. We'll do a good job of that, Jared. You know, the thing about the Breeders' Cup and, you know, these big horse racing days is that every horse in the field could win. I mean, they're there for a reason.
Very competitive. Right.
So, I mean, all you can do is prepare and have good reasons for your bets and then stick to them. I think that you can't. I think you can't bet every race, but I mean, you can. I mean, that's the fun part of it. But I think you have to pick and choose where you're going to put the bigger parts of your bankroll for things like the Breeders' Cup or the Kentucky Derby. So when you get these really jacked up fields of great horses, you know, it probably makes sense to stay away from the favorites unless they can't be beat, right?
That's right.
And I don't think any of them can't be beat. I don't think that's the case. Race number 9, Terry. I mean, there's a horse in here I think the bettors are going to think can't be beat.
Yeah, that's true. And it's actually a 7 furlong allowance race, $55,000 allowance. And it's a purse of $55,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
So Jared's giving you a little bit of lip there, Terry.
Oh, is he?
He's saying the 49ers hit the skids. But you know what's ironic about that? Is this is coming from a Giants fan.
Yeah, well, the 49ers, everybody thought they were the best team in the league. Now in the last 3 games, they've been very mediocre. But I think they're going to come back after their bye week. I think you're going to see them power back in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. I was never sold on Brock Purdy. Now he's looking like the quarterback that I thought he was, but I don't want to say anything because I hope for Terry he bounces back. Because I don't wish any man bad luck. I hope they all can reach their, you know, the pinnacle of their career and dreams.
Everybody has Yeah, but everybody has a bad day, just like me and you when we're handicapping these races. So same
Sometimes,
thing.
yeah. But I think you got to take the collective picture of everything, right? So I don't know. I mean, I know that, and we had this conversation so many times last year that he defied it. But I know in college he was wildly inaccurate, and now he's a little bit inaccurate again. So I hope that he snaps back to the guy who puts the ball on target.
Yeah.
In race number 7, for us, looking at 7 furlongs, we talked a little bit about. Hold on, we got Stewart. Great pick in the 8th in the final last night. Tried paid $811. Where do I send the check? I don't know. Where do you want to send the check to? I want the Giants to tank. Ooh, that looks pretty funny to me, Jared. Anyway, I'm going to go with the 7. We're getting completely off track.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart.
7 furlongs in there. Tactical speed. 29% of the time they go wire to wire. Very strong rail inside, outside bias in here, Terry, for sure. So inside speed is going to be where you want to look. This is where everybody's money is going to be, Terry. That horse got a lot of early speed. Not a lot of early speed, but certainly great chance to run a par figure. Tell us about which horses might get to the front.
Well, the 2 should be the first to the quarter pole, but I think it's going to fade after that. The 1's got a little bit of a pretty nice overlay. Like, what is that? 2 to 5?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be 2 to 5, though.
Yeah, to 3 to 1. And then the par numbers, the 6 has really good par number. And then the 5's following up with that. All of them got C-zone numbers except for the 3. So there you go.
Yeah, in this race, I mean, the 6 horse is going to be your prohibitive favorite. It's out here on the front as your lone EP. Everybody else wants to be middle back. Early pace says that Disco Ebo or the center court champ. I think in all likelihood, the 2 is going to fire out of there, knowing it's probably its only chance to the winner's circle in there in race number 9. And then as far as the late speed is concerned, the 6 horse also has your top late speed in there. Warrior's Ransom, not too far behind in there, the 1 horse, but certainly going to be kind of far off the pace when the race gets cracking relative to everybody else. Early speed, late speed, you have an 18-point advantage for total pace for Disco Ebo. I mean, Terry, I think this horse is the one that's going to be 1 to 5 in here, Terry. We both have him on top.
Yeah, he's my top pick for the day. I should have used the last race yesterday. I should have used that 8 as my top pick because it was my top pick in that race and paid over 20, but that's the way it goes. Disco Ebo ran second in her last race as a favorite, but she has a high percentage winning trainer. And the trainer wins 35% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Has a high percentage winning jockey. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning jockey. Oh, I've already said that. Anyway, she should win this race. Number 1, Warrior's Ransom has won 3 out of her last 5 starts. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And this combination the last 14 days has won 5 out of 8 starts. Social Success, the 4 is my third pick. She has won 5 out of 8 career races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and a good 4 furlong workout on October 24th. Early edition, the 5 is my long shot, finished in the money in 7 out of 10 races at Parx Racing. Won 4 of those, finished 3rd in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play $10 to win on the 6. I'm going to play a $1 daily double a $10 daily double 6-9, and then I'm going to play a $1 daily double the 6 with the 1, 3, 4, 7, and 9, 10.
I see 10 that went out. You're confusing me here, though, Terry, but all right. We can maybe make that adjustment in there to reflect what you just said.
Well, I eliminated the $10 daily double, so it's not.
No, just the 10 to win on a 6. So Christopher D'Souza says in race number 9, his pick of the day is the 1 horse. We're right back to where we were yesterday, Terry.
Well, that's my second pick. So, I'll do the coffee thing.
So wait. Are we going to go double or nothing? Is that what we're going to go on that, Christopher D'Souza? Or you just want to clip your coupons and put the money in the bank and come back and do that another day? Let us know. All right. In the comment section there. I think the 6 horse probably going to be your winner, though. I'm tempted to put the 1 on the front. Horse is coming out of a pair of non-graded stakes. Going to be a heavy favorite. I think it'll be 1 and 5 somewhere in there. The only thing for me is I think the distance is concerning. Ran 3 times at 7 furlongs and only has a second to show for it. But with that plus 18 total pace advantage, it could be difficult to overcome that. Again, though, I have seen way too many horses with that big advantage finish second at Parx. I don't know why. They have a case of second-itis. Warriors Ransom is Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. They are the dynamic duo of Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Had a blowout performance in its last race, and I was really contemplating kind of downgrading that one out of fear that there could be a regression in here, although there's a pretty big rail bonus, so I let one cancel the other. Social Success, the 4-horse on the fast track, Terry. I think this is the one where the upset might come from, because on the fast track, he's ran 5 times and won 4 of them. At Parx, he ran 3 times, won 2 of them. Career, he's run 8 times, won 5 of them. You see a pattern, Terry. The horse either wins or takes the day off. And then Center Court Champ, that one could get to the lead. And if it gets to the lead, it has a good shot to win, especially at Parx, where it's won 6 of 16 races and also 5 seconds in the mix. So it's either does really good or not so good at all. I think if there's going to be an upset in here, folks, it's going to be the 4-horse. That's the one I would think, but I'm not involved in the coffee bets because I don't drink coffee at all. I drink this other poison here, Diet Mountain Dew, which I'm working very diligently on trying to stop by adding more water and Gatorade and stuff like that. So I'd be a little bit healthier for a little bit longer. Maybe I can live another 30 seconds in my life. Last race of the day, Terry, is race number 10. Tomorrow, Charles and I will be back. We're going to talk all about Churchill tomorrow, and then we'll talk all about Aqueduct on Thursday. But right now, Terry, we're going to talk all about race number 10. And guess what? It's another maiden claiming race.
It sure is. It's 6 furlongs with a purse of 19,000 for maidens, 3-year-olds, and upward. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple bias for the track as well. Tactical speed, about a third of them go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 7. They're fair, 8 and out. A little bit of an advantage, Terry. In race number 10, does look like we got a fast one.
That's right. That 8 shows lots of speed. The 7 may have a little bit to say about it, but not too much probably. The 4 is from about 4 to 5 to 6 to 1 on the overlay, and that's about the only overlay I see.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got par numbers. The 4, 6, and 10 show a little bit of par numbers, but the 4 is the most. 9, 7, 5, 2, 1 have the best C-zone numbers.
All right, Terry, for the last time today, our race shape with maiden claimers. Well, the one's going to make a first shot in there. Birthday Bond Rob. So we don't know what that one's going to do. 2, 5, 6, 8, and 10 so far. They're like, yeah, horse racing's fun for other people, but not us. We're within 5 lengths, not within 5 lengths of the leader. So the 7 and 9, they did show some giddy up and go. So let's see if they're going to do that here today. Well, Commissioner Always. That one's the one that's likely to set the tone, but look at that late pace, Terry. Woof, that horse just stopped. Game Run, Uptown Shoes. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses that could compete early on. Late Speed, the horses that should have the most energy at the end of the race include the 2. ET's Demon Fire, but he don't want to run in the beginning of the race. Bubby Papermaker. So if either one of these 2 decide to jump out of the gates early on, it does look like the 3 could maybe do that. They might be a real factor in this race. Late Speed, Early Speed, It's a Pity. And 4, 6, and 9, grading out 6 points better than Uptown Shoes, and then a big drop off from there. So maybe the 4, 6, 7, and 9, Terry, is where you're going to find your winner. What do you think?
I like the 9 as my top pick. Game Run has an early foot, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 10, Out of Town, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. My second pick, number 4, is my third pick. It's a Pity. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Uptown Shoes, the 7, finished third versus similar in his last race, and his best start speed is fastest than the average winning speed. No money left, so I'm not going to bet anything here.
I'm all out of money and out of hope. Looks like self-destruction. Right? Isn't that Molly Hatchet? Funny. Went to go see them at a bar in Salt Lake City, and it was me and my buddy and a bunch of Hell's Angels. It was definitely an interesting day. I like the 6-horse as my top pick here. Terry, in the final race of the day, maybe I'll find a winner with Hasten Thence, whatever that means. Maiden special weight dropper. Going to catch some Lasix today, Terry. That could help. Probably the most potential in this race with the second career start. Number 4, It's a Pity. Did run the top last race Speed Figure. It did it by 8 points. Terry again. Andrew Beyer, the founder of Speed Figure, says a 3-point clear rate or higher. Horse has got to be under strong consideration, especially making the classic third start after layoff. Number 9, your top pick, my third choice, Game Run. This one showed some speed and then faded as the favorite in his last race. So maybe the second race off the bench will bring some additional stamina. Tough call for me between the 8 and the 10 in the next shot. I went with the 8 because maybe the early speed could prove to be a little bit too much on the debut. So let's see if it can show more speed and more stamina at the end. I don't have any money left to bet either, Terry, so I'm all out of cash. Here are our total picks for the day at Parx. Mr. Terry, any thoughts for you today?
Yeah, just hope everybody has a great day, great rest of the day, and a great week, and hope you do well in the Breeders' Cup. Stay safe. Give your loved ones and friends a hug and a kiss, because you never know what's going to happen day to day.
So, Christopher, for your horse yesterday, you can go to Turkey and live in Bodrum Holiday Region. Come and be his guest and have a holiday in your hotel. How about that? And go off to Turkey and go vacation. Now, I got to say, I mean, I watched some of those Turkey novellas. If I were a single guy, I would certainly consider going to Turkey for a little while, Terry. All right. So tomorrow, again, Charles and I will be back. So check that out. You'll see that right here. Best way to make sure you don't miss the Churchill picks tomorrow is to hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all of our social sites below. X, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Rumble, wherever. Or I don't think we do Rumble. Getter, one of those. It's Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race today. Again, today in the description down below. If you're looking for some more free picks, you'll find at FanDuel, Tafel, the guaranteed tip sheet. Link in the description. Make sure you tap that so they know where you're coming from. I think that's about it, Terry. How long are we to race number 3? We're about 3 minutes away.
About 3 minutes, yeah.
A little too much time to kill in there, Terry. All right. Yeah. What are your final thoughts before we get up and get out of here today?
Well, just as I said, I hope everybody does well in the Breeders' Cup if you're betting that, and just stay safe. So there we go.
Indeed, stay safe, and as always, we certainly hope that no matter what your aspirations are, that God pours out His favor and blessings on you, and that every single thing that you do on this terrific Terry Tuesday, till we get together again, it ends up in one place that can only be
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on Hump Day. Have a fantastic Tuesday.